Welcome back, guys. Supercoach is back already for 2025 with the Team Picker feature, which is brand new. And I think it's only available for those who have got Supercoach Gold. So if you've still got access to that, jump onto the phone app or the website. You should see a little button in the top saying Picker 2025 Picker. Hit that button and you can actually put together what you want your team to look like for 2025. So I've had a crack at that today. Let's have a quick look at what I've got for 2025. There's a few players in there from a few draftees, and we've got the new flex position as well. So let's take a look. All right, so here's the team picker on the Supercoach website. And as we all know, the new thing they've added for 2025 is the flex position, which you can see down the bottom of the screen there. So that's basically giving us a 23rd player who will score like everyone else, but your score will be just from your best 22 players. So it's going to be really interesting to see what strategy people take with the flex player. I'm not too sure of my own strategy at the moment, and I'm pretty sure the player I'm using is going to be a placeholder anyway, but keen to hear. Let me know in the comments below. What are you guys going to do for your flex position? Keen to hear all the strategies out there. But with that said, let's have a look at the team picker I've gone with as my first version for 2025, and this will probably change a heap, but always a bit of fun. Backline, we've gone Harry Sheezel, Max Holmes, Colby McKercher, Toby Travalia, Zach Reed, and Jed Buslinger. Sheezel and McKercher and Max Holmes are pretty well-known quantities, and they're going to do good things in 2025. Sheezel probably going to get some more midfield minutes as well, which is going to be handy. Max Holmes is going to be a starting midfielder for the Cats. McKercher's a gun, and they love having the ball in his hands, but it's probably the other three that are the newer ones. So Travalia, one of the draftees from this year, very highly touted, and I think he will get some good games at St Kilda early. I think he averaged something crazy like 140 Supercoach points in the Coates League this year, which I know won't translate fully to AFL level, but it shows he does accumulate the ball and use it well and tick all those boxes. So I expect him to get a bit of a price rise. Zach Reed, he was the man I held hopes out for last year. That just never came to light. He kept getting injured, but there's been some good early reports that he's going well. So hopefully he can get some games and a cash boost as well. And then Jed Buslinger, I don't know a lot about, truthfully, but I've read a lot of good things about him. And I think he even got some endorsement recently from the Bont as to being a probable lock for round one. So we'll take it on face value and see what happens there. On the bench, got Beau Allen and Caleb Smith. Beau Allen, I think, will get some games for the Eagles this year. Very talented. Caleb Smith, I might end up changing ultimately, but I know that he's trying to get the halfback role for Richmond. So I'm kind of doing that in a little bit of hope. But yeah, they're who I've got on the bench for the time being. Onto the midfield now. We're going with Treloar, Zach Merritt, Luke Davies-Uniacke, Hayden Young, Shea Bolton, Sam Lawler, Jagger Smith, and Josh Smiley. Treloar had one of his best seasons last year, really, and I felt was a little bit underrated. So he was averaging 120 roughly a week. So I've got him in. Zach Merritt, I couldn't fit him in last year, so I'm going to roll the dice on him this year. Shea Bolton's the interesting one. I know when he was at Richmond last year, I was deliberately avoiding him because he's a little bit inconsistent, but he was also playing in a very bad side last year. And I feel like Fremantle are going to be a top four side in 2025, and I think his addition is going to help elevate a few other players, which is kind of why I went Hayden Young as well. But I feel like Bolton could be good for 35 to 40 goals this year, and in a Freo side, I think he's going to just tear it up. So a little bit of risk attached to him, but that's the rationale behind that. Jagger Smith for the Blues, a known accumulator drafted this year. I am pretty confident he will start in the guts from round one this year for Carlton and will do some good things. Josh Smiley for us, he's as close to a lock as you could be for a draftee at Richmond at the moment. 195 centimetres, training really, really well. Leadership qualities, good skills, good size, and I think he will play and his price will go up accordingly. Taking a look at the rucks now, I've splashed some cash here. I've gone Tristan Xerri and Tom De Koning for the rucks. Xerri was unlucky not to be the All-Australian ruckman in 2024, to be honest. He put up a super year for the Kangaroos. I had him in 2024 and I'm rolling around with him again in 2025. And Tom De Koning, there was a 4 or 5 game patch during the year where he was putting up some seriously big numbers and was probably the informed ruckman of the comp. So I kind of expect him to go to another level next year. And I just think them as a pairing could put up some big numbers week in, week out. So rolling the dice on those two in the ruck department. Onto the forward line, which has always been the sore point for a lot of super coaches. Isaac Rankin, Jake McRae, Bailey Smith, Riley Sanders, Caleb Daniel, and Isaac Kakao. Look, Rankin's going to play some more midfield minutes this year, I think. no doubt Adelaide had a bit of a crap year. They thought they were going to be a lot better, and I think they're going to bounce back, and he will be a big part of that. Riley Sanders for the Bulldogs, he was a little bit unlucky last year. He was playing, he was not playing, he was sub, and then he was not playing again. I just feel like he was maybe a little bit mismanaged by Beveridge. But even in this off-season, he's had a bit of backing from Luke Beveridge, so hopefully that means more game time. And I know that 339,000, it's a bit of an awkward price point, but I'm hoping he sees a lot more midfield minutes, and we might see some growth in that price. Caleb Daniel for 269,000, I reckon, is an absolute steal. North Melbourne didn't pick him up to play sub or to play VFL. He will be playing 22, 23 games, injuries permitting. And he will be one of their ball users from the back half, you would imagine. So that seems like a no-brainer. Bailey Smith, he's going to be a starting midfielder for the Cats. Again, seems like a no-brainer to put him in. The big question mark is, how does he recover from an ACL injury? Unfortunately, ACLs are so common these days, I don't think it'll be too much of an issue. But yeah, he should rack up. I would anticipate him to be getting 25 to 30 good touches a game. And then Kakao in the forward line from Essendon. All reports are that he's training the house down. He's a bit of a maniac when it comes to forward pressure, which every team craves. So I just can't see Essendon not playing him. If he's applying good front pressure and he's got good goal sense, then why not get him in there? So he is my other forward. Then for the flex position, I've gone Tom Lynch. I'm not totally sold on the idea myself personally. The reason I went for him is because he's actually in really good nick at the moment. Like, he's actually really fit, doing all the sessions, all the mat simulation, and I just feel like he might be able to generate some cash. I don't know if he's going to be capable of hitting over 100 scores week in, week out. He might be hitting 60s and 70s, and maybe I've missed the mark completely. So I feel like I'll probably change the flex position, to be honest, but a lot of it's because I'm not too sure what my strategy is. But I've got him there for the moment. With that side, I've still got $120,000 in the bank, so a little bit of room to change a few things up. But yeah, I don't think that's too bad for a first hit up of a 2025 team picker. Let me know in the comments below. Who have you gone with? Who should I get rid of? And yeah, I'm keen to also hear what everyone's options are for the flex position. So go easy on me. It's only the first version. We'll obviously tweak this as we get along. But yeah, there is my first 2025 team picker side. Let us know what you think in the comments below.